doing today? I hope you are doing fantastic today. Oh, it's a beautiful day outside, and we're here trying to give you value today. So today we're going to be talking about all about online marketing strategy. So if you are with us and have seen some of the videos in the past, I hope you got some value from them, and I hope they raise some questions that you can answer and hopefully add to your business. That is my whole intent of those and these videos, this video series that I'm shooting right now. So without further ado, I'd like to get into it. But I hope you were able to watch the past two videos. If you haven't, check out the emails I sent you previously. Um, but let's dive right into it. So we've already talked a little bit about overall 7 steps to total domination. So I hope you're kind of clear with those. And this is just going to be adding on to one of those steps. And one of those steps that I hit on was the most important step is strategy. Okay, a lot of people think, oh, traffic is the number one thing you got to focus on. Not necessarily. Traffic is what you need, but traffic is really easy to generate. All right, we really need to look at strategy and how it affects our market and how it affects where we put things. Because strategy is the number one important thing. Without strategy, you're going to destined to fail. I'll tell you that right now. I was trying to figure all this out, and once I came down to the realization that strategy was the way to go, it turned my business around tremendously. So you need to focus on strategy before traffic. Okay, so hopefully you got something from that, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So this is the online marketing strategy is what we're going to be looking at today. All right, the online marketing strategy. All right, so if you haven't watched any of my videos before, that's okay. We're going to go quick through about me. This is going to be what we're going to do every time we go through, just so everyone is on the same page, understand where I'm coming from, kind of relate to you. I'm just an average old college student. Been attending the university for about 3 years now, and I really started to, you know, get really entrepreneurial spirit since not only now but when I was a child. I always had the drive to, try to find a new thing, try to find something new to do. I was never one of those kids that, hey, I wanted to sit around all the time and sit on the television or video games or whatever. I wanted to go ahead and do something that was going to impact my life and other people's lives. So, I've been with network marketing, or not network marketing. I was with network marketing. Now I'm more with internet marketing now for about 3 years now, and it's been an interesting ride. The first couple of years I struggled. I didn't really find where what I was supposed to be doing right. I was trying everything, buying a lot of courses, trying to figure out all this stuff, and it was really burdensome for me. I had a lot of failure, a lot of failure, and it wasn't until I started to find a mentor, find someone who I could look up to and see what they were doing. Because if they were being successful, there's no reason that I couldn't be successful. And that's what I kept trying to tell myself. And I had this, yes I can attitude, and yes I wanted to make a difference. So, it's something that I've always dreamed about, and I'm finally starting to see success now. And I want to share this success with others and give other people value so they can also ultimately get to the point where I'm at. Because I came from a college student, broke college student, didn't have much money, and now I'm made over $1,000 so far, and it's for me it's a huge milestone for me, and I want to help others reach the same way. So I always like to share a little bit about my goals and what I have. So I'm going to read you off my goal card, which I highly recommend you have as a goal card, and it says, I'm now earning. So this is what I want to earn. In the next year, 2 years is my goal card. I have with me. I keep it in my pocket all the time. And here's what it says. So I'm now earning $50,000 a month in passive residual income. Each and every month, my financial needs are met, and now I have total financial freedom. I am excited about life, and I am excited about my business. And I enjoy every minute, every single day. All right. So, I keep that with me. I look at it every day, remind me of my goal, where I'm heading, and where do I want to, want to be in the next year or 2 years. So, there we go. All right. A little bit about me. I love my family. Love talking to people. Love interacting with them. And a passion of mine is running. So if you see on the picture here to the right, me and my buddy just completed a mud run. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoy running. Love to travel too. That's me in Vietnam there. Had the opportunity to go last summer, and there's my family at the top there. So we kind of get a little bit about myself, throwing it out there. You got to be able to throw stuff out there when you're in this business, and go ahead and relate with other people. So hopefully you can relate with some of that. Let's jump into what we're going to learn today. So today you're going to learn what are the types of marketers. What are the types of marketers in our field today? There's amateurs, pros and typical marketers out there. So we're going to kind of go over those, talk a little bit about them, and how you can be that pro marketer, which I highly, highly encourage you to do. Because if you're not, you're going to be seeing average results, and no one likes to be average. So we want to be pros. All right. What is landing page and pre-framing pages? We're going to kind of go over those, talk a little bit about that, see if if you already know this, great. If not, hopefully this gives you some insight on how you should be conducting, your system, and it's all going to relate back to the system. Okay. A little bit of success formula that I have for you, just some small little tips, maybe to help to make that aha moment, and that's what we want to do, make the aha moment. All right, and a few tips on strategy as well. Okay, so let's dive right into it. We're going to get into the types of marketers today, and we're going to talk about amateur marketers first. All right, so an amateur marketer is someone who might be yourself. I know it was me when I first started. I was literally taking traffic and driving it right to my offer page. And so this is kind of what it looks like. So you get your traffic, and you take your traffic that you get, however you generate that, whether it's PPC or Facebook or PPV or YouTube or SEO or blogging, however you get your traffic. You take your traffic and you immediately throw it to your offer. Now, what's wrong with this? Well, when you're probably using an offer page that was provided to you by a company that you're using, or affiliate link that you're promoting, or it could be a page that is, number one, been used many times by marketers before. And so when you do that, you have people looking at the same pages over and over and over again, and you become an average marketer. You blend in, and that's not something you don't want to do in this industry. You don't want to blend in with everyone else. You want to stand out. You want to be able to say, hey, I'm different, and driving traffic to your offer is going to get you very, very, very low results. I was doing it myself. I was seeing about 1% opt-in rate, if that. And the thing is when you drive traffic straight to an offer, a lot of those programs and products that offer, you're not even getting any of the traffic or the leads or the opt-ins from your offer. And that is the huge thing, is why I stress and stress and stress, is to not do this. Because if you're not building a list, you are basically going backwards in your marketing. Okay. And I say that because you're not going to have a list that you can interact with. You're not going to have a list like right now where I'm providing value to you. You're not going to have a list that you can build a relationship with, that you can ultimately have a following, and creating that following of people who you want to go ahead and develop. Okay. So not having that list is crucial. I say a lot of people say the list is crucial to your business. I think providing value is crucial to your business. Providing value to your list is the key. Okay. You can create the hugest list in the world, but if no one on the list says, hey, I'm not interested, or doesn't open your emails or all that, you're not going to get any response from them. So you need to be creating that list. So this is a tip. This is an average or amateur marketer, and this is what I did when I first started. And now I realize, hey, this is not the right way to do. Okay, so if you're doing this now, I'm going to give you some different strategies so you can go ahead and be a little bit more successful in your business. Okay, so and this could be applied to anything. It doesn't have to be online marketing. It could be if you have a tomato shop or whatever. If you have whatever type of business that you're running, this can be applied. So use these concepts to help create your business and make it more successful. All right. So let's go into typical marketer. So a typical marketer is going to get traffic to the landing page. Okay. And now they're going to be or to a landing page. So this landing page is different from what we had before. Before we had traffic went right to an offer. Okay. So putting traffic to a landing page allows you to, number one, create that list I was talking about before. So a list, what's a list or what's a landing page? We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about that a little later, but just kind of bear with me here real quick. So when you send traffic to a landing page is something that's very basic. It has basically what you're offering, not necessarily your offer, but what you plan to give them in value in return, and kind of what your kind of hook is. What are you going to be providing value to them? All right. And when you say that, you say, if you want access to it, you go ahead and put your email down into the opt-in, and boom, they hit opt-in, and it takes you to the offer. All right. So this is what a typical marketer does: is they send traffic to a landing page. Someone says, hey, find out how I so let's go back to my example that I had for 7 steps to total domination. I said, hey, want to learn the 7 steps to total domination to help transform your business? All right, so 7 steps to total domination was was kind of what my piece I was providing value with, and then the next part was a hook. Was what I said was that I want to um, go ahead and show you how I've applied it to my business. Okay, so that's how I hooked people. Hooked is kind of the wrong word, but how we kind of got people in the frame of mind of what's going to be providing to them later down the road. So what I did was I got an exchange for that. I got an email that I could use, and then I was able to send them to an offer. Okay. Now that's not exactly what I do, but this is what a typical marketer would do in that situation. Okay. So again, adding that landing page is key because you're building that list, okay? So that's what a typical marketer does. If you're doing that, you take one step up from the amateur marketer, but there's one more step that you can take, all right? And this is what I've adapted into my funnel. So let's go ahead and look at what a pro marketer does. So a pro marketer, first they get traffic, obviously, send them to a landing page, all right? That landing page goes ahead and adds people to the list, all right? After they've been added to the list, they get sent to a page. We call it a pre-framed page. All right. So what's a pre-framed page? Well, it's basically where you're going to provide that value. Where you're going to provide, hey, I'm going to give them a video or a PDF or software or audio. That pre-framed page is where you're going to be able to build that relationship with that individual. We're going to be able to say, hey, I'm a real person, and I want to give you something back in return for your exchange of your email. So that pre-framed page allows you to, number one, build a relationship and get the person ready for your offer. All right, this is what I'm doing right now. This is the system of a pro marketer, and this is where you want to get to. All right, so after the pre-frame page, you get to that offer. All right, now you may be saying, hey, this is crazy. This is too much information or all that. Just take a deep breath. This is trying to break this down as simple as possible for you, okay? So you have traffic, goes to the landing page goes to a pre-frame page, and a pre-frame page goes to your offer, all right? A couple more steps that you keep adding here, able to build a relationship with your prospect and be able to provide value, okay? I can't stress enough how much providing value is. If you're watching this right now and you've been through one of my autoresponders or something like that, I used to not provide value before, and I regret what I did because I feel like it's hurt my relationship with my list. And right now, I'm changing the way I market because I realized after watching videos and learning about how to market effectively, and from my mentor and all that, I learned that providing value is the number one thing that you need to provide. Hands down, nothing. So I'm on a mission right now to provide as much value as I possibly can to each person that I run into. So the key is to provide value. So the thing is you can be a professional. You can be a professional. I'm serious. You can do it. Even if you're starting out like a average person like I was, you can be a professional. It is too easy. All right, too easy. All you need is to be able to create these couple pages beforehand before you get to your offer. All right, it is too easy. All right, and you're going to see massive results. Massive results. I'm serious. All right. So we're going to kind of dive into landing pages and what you should be looking for. So you need a hook with a lead magnet. So this is a lead magnet, what I was talking about before, a piece of value that solves specific problem in your marketplace, offered in exchange for an opt-in. Okay. So like with my landing pages I had, I offered a free video. And we talked about the 7 steps to total domination. All right, 7 steps to total domination. All right. That was my lead magnet. My hook was, hey, learn how I've applied this to my business and all that. All right. So I had an opt-in on it. Now the primary opt-in, so people had their email, which they submitted into me. And that's how I got to this video. All right. So the primary focus of a landing page is to get that person on your list. All right. You don't want to give away too much information on the landing page. You want to give away just enough to pique their interest, get that person on the list. Okay. That's the key. The key for the landing page is to have a primary focus on getting people on that list. All right. Next, your pre-frame page, all right? That's what we went over before. That's what a pro marketer uses, all right? Provides value with video, PDF, webinar, audio, software, you name it. It could be a lot more than just those. Those are just some examples, all right? But it's got to be really easy to consume. So like you said, you've been watching a video, said, hey, listen, the video is great, PDFs are great, webinars, however you want to structure your funnel. That's all up to you. And you'll be able to see what your market best responds to, all right? So you need to have that value there, all right? And you need to have a very direct call to action, all right? Call to action. So your primary focus needs to have. Hold on. Let's take a step back to your call to action. So your call to action should be in a couple forms. It should be a couple times on that pre-frame page, so to remind that individual. Usually, a lot of people use buttons. You have arrows pointing everywhere. Those are great things to use. And the primary focus of this pre-frame page is to bond with your prospect. Okay, you want to be able to have a sense of bonding, so you can be able to relate to that person. Right, provide them value. All right, and help them move on to that next step of that offer, like we described before. All right, so the pre-frame page is key in your marketing, and this is something that I started to adapt to my business, and I'm seeing massive results. All right, so strategy is key. Strategy is key. All right. So if you've been through my 7 steps to total domination, you know that traffic plus strategy equals conversions. And I stressed strategy so much because you can have all the traffic in the world, but if your strategy isn't there, you're going to see little conversions. So you also want to think about it's not all about the conversion. All right. The conversion will come. It's a byproduct of the system, okay, of the formula. Okay, if you have traffic and you add strategy to it, you're gonna get conversions. It's a byproduct. So keep that in mind when you're structuring some of your systems that you're creating, all right? And hopefully you use some of the systems that were talked about in this video to do that, all right? And the big thing that I learned, and I want to share on you, is never force people to buy what you're selling. All right, don't force them. Have them be customers of you. All right, have them come to the realization that hey, this is something that's pretty beneficial. This is something that I can do. So never force people to buy what you're selling. Just provide them value, show them what you've done, and they will come to the decision when they're ready. All right, they will come to the decision when they're ready. So the thing I want you to remember is this: you can do this. You can do this. This system, this process, how to become a pro marketer is too easy. It's too simple. I want to break it down as easy as possible so you understand how to do it and overall become a better professional marketer. Because my mission is to create a new standard and help others create a better life for themselves. So I want to create a new standard in the industry. I'm tired of going through pages and people getting thrown offers right when you opt in or whatever, or however you're doing it. I'm tired of doing it. I want to change the way marketers are marketing today. So I hope this has given you some value. And if you really like this video, feel free to share, leave a comment, question below. Love to respond back to you. Get the talking going about this. Drive some awareness to this, and overall make you more successful. So I thank you for watching this video. Step 2 is a strategy. If you are interested in that, hopefully this was beneficial to you. Hopefully you got something from this, and we'll see you on the other side. This is Chris. Have a great day, and be successful.